Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another 3D Hangout. My name is Noel Ruiz. I'm a designer here at Adafruit, and joining me every week is my brother Pedro.
Good morning everybody, I'm Pedro, Creative Tech here at Adafruit, and every week we're here to share 3D printed projects featuring electronics from Adafruit.
That's right, this is a show we combine 3D printing and DIY electronics to make inspirational projects for you. Whoa. Hey folks, welcome everybody to the show. This is episode 350. We got a new project this week. Got some prototyping, a little bit of a shop talk, community makes, some CAD stuff, some props, and of course some LEDs, all this and more on today's show. We're going to take a moment to welcome everybody to the live chat room. We're hanging out in the Discord server. Hello everybody hanging out there. Want to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you might be.
Good morning to everybody hanging out in the chats or on the Discord at discord.gg/Adafruit. Giving shout outs to Andy Calloway, Jim Hendrickson. We're also hanging out in the Twitch chat, as well as on Twitter and on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. Good morning to everybody hanging out.
Hello. I hope everybody's doing all right this morning. We are going to run through the housekeeping stuff, so let's go ahead and take a look at the freebies that are going on. If you order stuff, the more stuff you order, the more things you'll get for free. So I'll run through these real quick. For orders that are $99 or more, you're going to get a half size from a Proto. For orders that are $149, we still have the deal for the Stemma QT boards. So if you spend $149 or more, you get the half size Perma Proto and the Stemma QT board. If you have an account, we'll make sure you don't get the same one twice, right? For orders that are 200 or more, you'll get the Stemma QT, you get the Perma Proto half size rib board, and free ground shipping for US Continental. And for orders that are $399, this is the top tier. You'll get a free Stargate Playground Blue Fruit. That's with the NR5240. You get the free continental shipping for ground. You get the Stemma QT board and the half-size Perma Proto. All of these lovely goodies is still while supplies last. I got one more kind of note. You want to make sure you take a look at this blog post because the holidays are upon us. Here it is, Adafruit Holiday Shopping 2021. These got some nice dates for you folks. So for international orders, and it's broken down by the type of UPS. So 3-day, 2-day, and next day. We're looking at probably next week is probably the deadline to get things before the holiday. So check that out. It's a front featured blog post on blog.adafruit.com. Okay, let's take a look at the jobs board at jobs.adafruit.com. If you are an employer or a maker looking to collab or work on stuff, you can put up a job posting or your resume on jobs@adafruit.com. And we've got some going ons here from October. So no new ones, but there's still some really good ones out there. So check those out. And that is the Help Wanted Jobs board. All right. Let's see. Newsletters every week. Once a week, there's a product-focused newsletter. If you want to subscribe to that, go to adafruit.com/newsletter. For the daily dose of emails, you can go to adafruitdaily.com and check out the different categories. Our favorite run is Python on hardware, but also 3D printing, right? But Python on hardware, shout out to everybody for subscribing to that one. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun, and huge shout out to Ann and the CircuitPython core dev for putting that one together. We have a programming note. Tonight we are hosting Show and Tell. It's tonight at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And then Ask an Engineer will be broadcasting tomorrow. Not tonight, but tomorrow. There is some special things going on that Lamar and Phil have to attend to tonight. So tomorrow they're going to do the show at the same 8 p.m. time slot, but again on Thursday. Tomorrow. I'm the first one to let everybody know, I think. I think BT is working on a blog post. Yes. So So yeah, we'll see you folks hopefully tonight on Show and Tell. But again, Ask an Engineer will be tomorrow.
Yeah, super proud of some awesome ceremonies they're attending.
Yeah,
tonight.
Yeah, some New York City stuff.
Very
business.
Cool. Super proud.
Yes, we survived. Okay, are we ready to go to the show?
Let's go ahead and jump into this week's project.
Okay, we'll do shout out. Everybody wants shout outs. You get your shout outs in, but I don't see any. So let's jump into. If you go head on over to learn.adafruit.com, you'll see that the latest guide, one of the latest guides, is the one we got up here. This is a big key switches MacroPad. So we got our hands on the KB2040, and it's a fun little board dedicated for making keyboards, right? So Lamar had a suggestion, rather the CS team, the shipping team had a suggestion to Lamar's like, it'd be really nice to have these big chunky buttons, and like, so when they're doing I guess when they're shipping things out, they need to like, instead of looking for a key, it's nice to have like a really big arcade style one so they can just stomp on it. And we think for accessibilities and for just the joy of just like getting it through a bunch of orders or something, this could be really useful for them. So they requested it. Lamar asked us to do it, and here it is a couple days later.
Yeah, so we recently got all of these novel keys in stock and wanted to make the project with the KB2040.
I say Keyby all the time, bro.
KB2040.
Hey, I like key, like a keyboard.
Yeah, so the original idea from the shipping team was to have just, I'm guessing, one to act as a spacebar that advances to the next order, is what I'm guessing. So the idea from that stemmed another idea, having it be sort of not Lego connector. Oh, pooch. But some like a T-slot, so you can extend this, make like a little keyboard train, or have like a ginormous MacroPad of your favorite hotkeys. So super simple little design here. It's all connected with these T-slots that all connect together, interlock with each other. All 3D printed, of course. And we have our lid here that has the KB2040 on there. That's a little way of attaching the board. We have these nice little drafted little tabs.
There you go.
These drafted little tabs that hold everything in place because there are no mounting holes on this tiny little board.
Yeah, it's got the Pro Micro shape, so it's got a castellated pad, so you're gonna have some nice soldering.
So a bunch of geometry that goes into play here. We have this little sunken down portion on there, so you can push down on about halfway of the board, so you still have plenty of room when you're soldering a bunch of different wires on there. Even the castellated little edges here, you can attach more grounds. I think there's 3 grounds on here. Of course, if you're adding the LEDs and keys, you're going to use all of those up. So the way that this works is that the little spacing between here, so you have access to your Stemma QT port and your USB port on the other side, and still have room to pop it out with the little cutout that I did not plan this, but you can see what board you're using on there, and that's used to pop this out for resoldering or adding more keys. So a nice little way to make a way to hold a PCB that doesn't have any mounting holes. This is our go-to way of building these little tabs. You can kind of see the drafted on there for adding the added stability of the support. Same thing with the T-slots here. You can see the draft on there so that you don't need any supports. You will have a little bit of droopage, but you can cut that off. And the tolerance just should fit all the way up to like an Ultimaker down to the Prusas and the Crealties. So you should have a nice little tight fit on that. And the lid, same thing. We have these nice little chamfers on the corners here to make it a little bit simpler to attach onto the bottom. And then you have the holes, so you can fit the quick connects. Should be able to fit through there. So you can have that attached to the rest of your all of your keys. So the quick connects, nice little way to make these non-destructive. We do have these in the shop, and these nice little way to connect those. We have built some of these before, and one of the things I didn't like was having to solder to these. So we have these quick connects that'll aid in being able to have this completely modular for expanding or cannibalizing this for a different project. On the inside, you do have space for a 10mm LED on here. So this guy just rests right on top of there. You can add like a drop of hot glue or something, but there is enough space to just have them sit nice and flush on there. Hopefully I'm not pushing anything over there.
Yeah, and your search bar.
Yeah.
MacBook search bar.
So all in CircuitPython, you can program this to turn on when you press the key, or the way we have it here is that it turns off when you push on the key. Either way.
Yeah, you can just flip the true or false.
Yeah, super easy to reprogram that. And you can see here how they're all daisy chained. Let's see this guy. Let me get a snap. So this press fits into place. You can see how all of the wires fit inside there. You can just coil them up. There's enough space to have the quick connects on there. It just pushes on there like that. To make sure that the little, what are these called? These little tabs that push out, to make sure that these didn't bow or deform the walls. They are about 2mm thick. So after sending them, it is a little bit heavy, but that's just because of having thick walls on here, so that these little thingies called that push up against it, so you're not actually deforming your case. What else can we talk about here? Let me pop out the main one. You can see the KB2040 inside there with all of
space for other components if you want. I don't know, speakers or some sensors or something. There's some other stuff in there.
That is
and because it's modular,
idea.
the bottom cover you can just print out the case, and then the bottom cover can be printed out. Some other bits.
Yeah, so the shipping team did say space bar, and was gonna make like a bigger, longer one, but this ended up working. So you could definitely 3D print something that can fit on there.
Yeah, make a different shape if you'd like.
And one of the other things that I didn't get around to doing is actually adding more of these T-slots, like on the other sides of these. So if you wanted to, expand it and make like a
2x2 or 4x4.
Exactly, yeah. So we can jump into the CAD real quick. Let's try out our.
We got a new CAD cam here.
So we can actually jump into this.
Holy moly, it's working.
Let's see if
your mouse.
My mouse connects. There we
go.
go.
Vacuum.
Yeah, so super simple little design. It's just a box, but of course all the geometry lies in all the little holders. So like we were saying before, here's all the drafted angles that come out into play. You can see how those are drafted. Oh, that's that part. So these, it's a 4-degree drafts, just enough so that it can grab onto the board without actually like deforming the what's the board made out of? The
FR4.
FR4. So you don't like
chip it or
chip
break
it. Yeah. So it's just enough room for that, and it's on each side. You have your little edges for that, and you got little transfers and another draft on here, so that you have a nice amount of tolerance when you press fit that inside of the case. The case just has the USB port hole, so you can the thickest USB cable is what we usually test this on, and it should work perfectly with that. And that's pretty much it. Super simple little design, just little details in there to hold onto the PCB. Like we were saying before, the little dip in there so that your board can have a nice little
that's cool.
Like a groove to go inside of, with enough spacing for all the wires and your castellated pads, like wires to be attached onto the side, so you still have room for that. And that does a really nice job of holding it. We tested it out by unplugging and plugging in the USB, and then like pulling it upwards to make sure that it doesn't pop the board out of the what's it called? Cavity. And that's pretty much it. The only thing that I don't like is how thick this bottom is, and that's there just because of the cavity that you add on there.
A thick bottom, that way it's got some more weight to the bottom and just overall more sturdy.
Yeah, I don't think there's any to see the infill is pretty low on here. It's like 6% infill.
A good color choice. You got the translucent stuff.
Matching
out the.
I'm just matching.
They match straight on. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're using so each one has a different, the keys are all different in terms of the, what is it called? The clicking, the bump, and the clack.
Right, that's what the title's there. So one clicks, one clacks, and no
so you
bumps.
can kind of hear the click on this one. The bump.
It's more of a feeling.
And then the clack.
They're both feelings.
Yeah, and then the other thing too is having enough spacing between each one so they don't bump into each other.
Look at that.
And then the I didn't have any white LEDs or blue
That's right.
10 millimeter LEDs,
we're out of LEDs, and we had a
looks,
time crunch, so we had to use what we had.
Yeah, they did come in. I should have swapped them out.
Nah.
But and then for the 10 millimeter LED, we have a little resistor that's soldered right on there.
There's something festive about orange LED, yellow LED. It has this notation of like a candle or something. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, so
it matches.
So one of the other use cases that we show in the video is having it be like a drumming.
Yeah, that's right. So you could do some MIDI stuff, but we just use the keyboard, just regular keystrokes, and then in like a MIDI app like GarageBand, you can turn on the keyboard MIDI mode and then just use regular keys to make some sounds. So very fun demo.
All right, so let's go ahead and jump into the Learn Guide.
All right, let's take a look. So the overview page is going to walk you through all the parts. We have 3 of these different Kale switches. Everybody bought them up. Thank you for buying them.
Looks like the blue ones were the ones that went the fastest.
Right,
and I can see in the chat here, Susan got the clicky button.
Thank you, Susan.
I really like, yeah, you can. It's so cool being able to have these blown up so big because you can see the actual mechanism that's doing the clicking. It's this little spring
inside there as well.
You can kind of see the spring there. It like lifts up and around it. Can you see it? No.
Trying to focus here. There you go.
So sorry if this is like right into the microphone, but it's super fascinating to see all of the components for this blown up.
Yeah, it's
so
great.
Cool.
64 times bigger than a regular Area Max compatible.
I'm waiting for the first person who's gonna make like a ginormous full-size keyboard.
I heard John Park said that somebody at Maker Faire somewhere did.
Oh, wow.
Also going to give a shout out to Colin Cunningham because he did one of these. Yes. He did one for the Circuit Playground. It was very specific to it though. It used NeoPixels on the Circuit Playground.
Yeah.
And I think he constructed the frame out of wood. So really, really cool way to do it also. And he did that before we started stocking these. So.
Yeah, that was a request from Lamar. She probably knew that we were going to stock them.
Yeah, it was right when we were just getting into keyboards and stuff, which was like a year or 2 ago. But otherwise, shout out to Colin.
Real quick, right on the subject, Josh Van on the YouTube is asking, did we print these in PETG? No, this is just regular PLA.
You could print it in PETG, sure.
But these are just PLA. Beautiful. Yeah,
it would look good. It would be strong.
It's the translucent, the name, the brand. It's like a no-name brand for all of these, I believe.
Something from Amazon.
Yeah, I'm always reluctant to give out like what brand we're using because we've noticed it.
They disappear.
They disappear. Yeah. So whichever translucent filament brand that you're comfortable with getting, pick those up. But yeah, they're all PLA.
Yeah, a lot of PETG comes in these nice translucent colors too.
Approximate price per key. You were just on the product page for that. Oh, it says it right there. No.
When they're out of stock, you don't get a price. Let's see. I don't know. They're $20 each or something. $10 each.
Let's see. Yeah, they are $20 each. Yeah, $19.95.
Yeah. They're big injection molds.
Sharp Bite. Yeah, these are programmed for MIDI right now to do just in GarageBand.
You just turn. They're just making letters A, B, C.
Yeah.
And then the GarageBand, you just turn on the keyboard mode, and then you can use regular keystrokes. Cool. So some other things we have the 10mm LEDs in stock. You can get a packet 5.
I should have did that.
25 and all this assorted colors.
I should have did that.
Yeah. So that's a really good deal for only $8. So these are really great. They're so bright and like very gummy. Look at the green one. It's beautiful.
Yeah, we had a
really, really stellar LEDs.
I forgot what we were using the yellow ones for, but that's all that we had here.
Yeah, you're right. We were using them specifically for something.
So I went ahead and grabbed all the colors because it was like it would have been very nice to have the blues.
I used one yellow LED
for the Star Trek gun.
The Star Trek, yeah, both of them use it. So yeah, good light, good LEDs. Okay, what else we got? The KB2040.
This little guy.
Has stock, right? No, there is stock
they're
still.
in,
Holy
yeah.
moly. Yeah, these are great. So it's running the RP2040. You get 20 GPIO pins. It's only $9.
You have the stemma connector, so you can matrix these together.
It's got a whopping 8 megabytes of SPI flash. It's awesome. It's like really good. Some of the other boards don't have as much. So you can fit all the libraries. You can make diode matrix your key and make a whole full-blown keyboard, I think, or at least a 60% one. Anywho, those are the parts.
One of the other things we want to highlight is the Quick Connect, since it was in the chat that they like the way that we're using the Quick Connects for these.
I'll have to find them. I don't see them here.
Oh, I did not put them in here. I just put it in the
Chat?
The chat. It's PID 3835.
38.
And again, made it.
Yeah, we have an assortment of these. You want to be cautious of like the sizing. So this is a 0.187 inch, but you can see here in this photo that it fits these zippy switches, these micro switches. So yeah, and here's like a comparison of them, right? Or no?
Yep.
Right. All right, we're looking overhead.
Yeah, and these have a nice amount of tolerance on them, so they will stay.
So you don't have to stretch them out; they just fit on them perfectly.
Yeah, the ones that I use in the video are the smaller ones, and if you take like the little skinny pliers, you should be able to bend those out, and that worked pretty good. But it'd be nice not to have to do that. Just get these, and then the only other thing in the product page it is linked to for DigiKey where to get the female connectors for these. I had to build my own. We have like a little kit of the female parts. It shows it, right there to get the matching.
Yeah, JST-XH.
That's the only thing we don't have.
Right. You can also get a pack of these on Amazon. Like I got myself a pack, different assorted colors, and you can create your own, crimp your own, or solder your own, and just use the connectors. But yeah, you can get them on Amazon too. But these are the ones we're using, and they fit well. All right.
Been not posting all of the PIDs, so trying to get through all those.
Okay.
What was the other thing? Yep, the USB-C cable.
Sure, if you got one, if you need one, here's one.
And we're approaching where almost every the things that we're using is all turning into USB-C.
So far, yeah. All my
so I gotta go.
Pi projects are all USB-C.
I know. It's that time of the. I guess for springtime, we're gonna have to do some cleanup of getting rid of the micros and the A's.
Correct.
Yeah, this is the way that it's all
it's
wired up.
That's fun.
It's what we have for fritzing in our GitHub, which
cool.
you can see the link there. I'll post it in the chats as well. We have all of our boards that are released new products. Katney and Dylan. We used to do a good job of making the fritzing objects for these. You can pick up if you want to make your own diagram. Here is how all of these are set up. It's pretty much just pin 2 all the way to pin 7. One for the button, then one for the LED, and then up until you get the year 3, or you can add up to, is it 10 for these?
Yeah.
Of each matching pair.
Cool. Yep.
And then we just tell you what you wired. In the code, you can completely switch out what does what. So
yeah, you're probably gonna want to do that. All right, cool.
Let's go Python.
Yeah, so it comes with the bootloader. You want to install CircuitPython on there. Latest version is 7.0, and here this just walks you through getting it in the bootloader mode. You just hold down the boot button, press reset while holding down the boot button. Your RPi2 drive appears, and you can just drag and drop the UF2 folder to install CircuitPython. It's pretty straightforward, pretty easy. But this page will walk you through it and give you all the documentation on how to do it. All right, on to the code. So this is where you'll want to change the pins depending on what you've soldered to. If you have more or less buttons, this is where you'll want to update your list. So you got your button pins and your LED pins. So they're nicely listed there for you. And then here are the key codes. So if you want to do multiple key codes, you can do that as well. But for now, we just have them as single buttons. So key code, and you can look at the documentation for a full list of all the available key codes. You can also do special media controls such as play, pause, previous, and volume. So you can do all that stuff. It's all handy there in the USB HID documentation.
Which one of the use cases for this that we completely forgot to mention, accessibility. So if any disabilities, you have dexterity.
Yeah, you can help. Yeah.
A nice big hit state for the.
For sure, yeah. And let's see. Yeah, you can. What else can we change here? I guess the the
LED,
LED right
all
here.
changes.
If you want to turn it on or turn it off. In this variation of the code, it will turn the LED on when you press it, and when you release, it turns the LED off. We flip that, so all you would do is just turn true to false and false to true, and that's pretty much. And then the loop just kind of checks when the button is being pressed and runs through the button function, which will do the keystroke and the LED. And there you go. Pretty good. And this is what it looks like when you upload the libraries and the code to your CircuitPy drive. So those are all the library files that you'll need. But if you use the download project bundle, you won't have to hunt down the libraries or the code. It'll just come in a zip file for you, and you can just drag that over to your, we'll add the files. You can drag those files over to your USB drive, and you're good to go. Okay. All right, let's take a look at the 3D printing page. Here are all the parts.
Very simple, no craziness. The orientation should be set to go on these, no supports needed. You can use your favorite PLA settings for this. We're just using the 220 just for the speed that we're printing at. 10% info, gyroid, 0.2 millimeter layer height, and 60 for the bed. Nothing special there. You can get the STLs for that on Thingiverse, or edit the Fusion 360 files, or download like the step files, import it into what is it? The
Inventor, Tinkercad,
FreeCAD, yeah,
Blender.
OpenSCAD. It all should be supported there. You have all the formats you can download from there.
Cool.
Yeah, it's super simple. Yeah, just pick your colors and print away.
Okay. And time to the assembly. So some soldering required.
Yep. Once you figure out how many buttons and the way that your LEDs, you want to hook those up. Like we were saying before, there is plenty of room to solder to the castellated parts of that if you want to share the 3 ground connections. So there's the most of the pins that you're going to need to share. And then once all those are nicely soldered up, you can bundle up your wires. We like doing a nice little coil there just to keep the mess of wires you're about to have everywhere be a little bit neat and tucked onto the sides of the case. You'll run your wires to each side, or if you're just gonna have just 2 of them, just run it to whatever side you're gonna have the assembly set up for. And then the lid press fits onto the bottom. Super simple. Just make sure you orient it with the USB port openings correctly. And then the switch just mounts right on top. The orientation for this, see, the LED part is going to be the back. So if we go over to the overhead, where the little place to add the LED, that's where the USB port will line up with. And that's simply so that this isn't a complete square. It's measured to the dimensions of whatever body part this is called for the switch. Another visualizer too, before you take this off, make sure you know which way the orientation is. The text on this should be on the opposite side of where the LED mounts, and that's another way to orient.
Fit the other way?
These will crash right into the board.
Yeah,
so that's the main thing you want to look out for.
These pins are so tall that they're going to hit your board. Even though this is tall, doesn't matter because
so you just want to make sure that they're oriented that way, where the text is on the front, the LED is on the back close to the USB port, and that again is just so that you're not crashing into the board.
I run into that every time I have an arcade button. You got these giant anyway. All right, let's head on down.
I mean, I could have made it taller, but then again, that's just increasing the print time if you can just orient how the pins are on the case.
All right.
So it's the only thing to look out for. Attaching the multiple cases, you want to attach this from the bottom if you run your cables first, just so that you're not clashing with your wire, so they're not getting in the way. So
so assemble them.
Yeah, so if, either assemble it first or run it through the connect it from the bottom up like that, so you're not running into the wires.
Okay.
Let's see. After that, it's pretty much just mounting the or connecting your other switches. Optionally adding the LED, and that's pretty much it.
Pop, pop.
Only hard part is what keys is going to be pressed.
Bump, bump. And maybe you want to stomp on him. Pretty strong. You
Yeah.
can stomp on him. Cool. All right. Well, great job. If you guys want to make your own.
Yeah, super
Jumbo
satisfying when it's the
MacroPad.
shipping team who wanted this built, so it's going to be used for setting up all your guys' orders. So definitely, I like when it's like a simple project that looks super pretty and it's super useful for
As a project it's great.
for doing work. Yeah, for the accessibility of it, and then again, it looks so pretty with all of the translucent colors.
Yeah. So if you all got some fun ideas, go ahead and drop them in the Discord, and we can chat through them.
Yeah, one of the ideas I just popped in my head. I was talking as the having like training your dog, where your dog can just push it for a treat.
Yeah, you're right. Not just for humans.
Yeah, for animals, it's a nice. Yeah, foot pedals, says Andy
Foot pedal would be
Calloway.
great, Yep. Accessibility. Yeah. Cool. All right.
Let's see if I can get through all the links. I don't think I posted all of the links, but they will be in the show notes. That's where I'm grabbing all these links from.
Wonderful.
Curtain Bra is saying, yeah, this would be useful as foot pedals, definitely.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, like you were saying,
for
that's
foot pedal.
really good for stomping. Oh, pushing keys over here.
Yeah. Be careful with that.
Let me look through the rest of the comments, make sure I got all these. Yep, foot pedals. Another person for voting for foot pedals. So yep, nice solution.
I want to grab a mallet and hit him like a whack-a-mole. Turn it into an arcade game.
Gary's saying, yeah, big buttons. That's how Adafruit gets all their orders out so fast. Yep. So go, next.
Is print label conk. Cool.
So we weren't here last week.
That's right. Last week was pages.
last week's project was. We had a project last week, right?
No.
Sure.
No.
It was just the time lapse, right?
No, it was the menorah video on Monday.
Ah, okay.
It was the menorah
That's
Monday.
what it was. Okay, so we talked about that the week
was last
before.
week, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's go ahead and jump into this week's. What are we prototyping?
Okay, cool. Yeah, what are we prototyping? So yeah, check this out. Learn guide, right?
Yay, learn guide. Links are in
Yeah,
there.
and
Check
the
it out.
keys, get the Kiwi. They're in stock. So
Yeah,
you can
go
get
ahead and
that.
grab those before we run out of stock,
Yes.
and you can set up for notifications when the novel keys come back in.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go.
Okay. Now jumping into what are you prototyping? So over the break, I wanted to start working on a new camera slider. So I got myself this camera slider. So you might remember the camera slider we did with Liz back in 2019. It does a nice slide, and it's all CircuitPython. So what we wanted to do this time around is reduce a little bit of the weight. So we have the aluminum extrusion and the sliding carriage going along the aluminum extrusion instead of having to have like a big steel slider bit with a railing and its own platform. So the 3D printed carriage here moves along, and all the electronics are now on the carriage, so it's independent from these rails. I wanted to try out using herringbone gears, so not only does it slide left and right, but now it can pan and rotate about 180 degrees. So this stepper, so it has two stepper motors now. This stepper motor has a little 3D printed gear, and they mesh together and they stay together because of the way the herringbone profile style is. So you got this nice GoPro here, so this is gonna pan and slide at the same time. We're still using that timing belt, but we did something interesting with the timing belt. So you have this clamp lever, so you can literally just pop that out, and now it's free to go. And there are teeth on the side of that profile, and that teeth gives it that bite that you need. So when you clamp on it, that clamps right there, and it keeps the belt nice and taut. And it slides super smooth, much better than the previous version. We're still running a tripler feather wing here. So you have the motor feather wing, which can do 2 stepper motors. It can drive 2 stepper motors, which is what we're doing. Feather M4, our favorite feather. And down here, we're going to have probably the TFT with the joystick, so we can do some control. But I really like how this is independent. Some things that I'd like to add, that we're going to add. We're going to have 2 switches here that are going to act as end stops, so we won't have to do any crazy math figuring out the math for the sliding steps. So when it gets here, it'll just hit that switch, Z limit switch, or not Z, but the limit switch, and it'll just stop. And then same thing over here, we'll have another switch. So it goes over here. So this is the full length of the aluminum extrusion. We have them. We did have them in stock. I don't know if they're in stock now, but they're about 600 millimeters in length, so you get a nice distance of slide. Yeah, so this is going to be a collab project with Liz, of course, for January or February. So just wanted to start figuring out how to get the gears situated and all the, the wiring and things. We still need a battery pack that will fit in the bottom here because we do want it to be portable with the battery. Right now I have this little thing dangling. This is the power supply, but other than that, I really like that the motor wing has 2 stepper motor controls, and we'll hide these in the back here in this little plate. But that is the sneak peek of the new camera slide and, what did you call it, pan and slide. I wanted to do tilt too, but we're just going to stick with 2 for now. But that is the prototype that we're working on. It's sort of a, what would you call it, like a long-term project?
Yeah.
Not super long, but enough to like maybe a month or 2 out.
Very cool.
But yeah, I'm excited about that one. That is this week's prototype.
Super smooth motion time lapses for that.
Yeah, it's going to be real nice. I'm excited about the gear, the herringbone gears. I have some other ideas for using those mechanisms. So there you go. That is this week's prototype.
Super cool. I was going to show off it's kind of like prototype what Trevor and the iOS team is working on, but I didn't grab any links or anything for that.
Oh, right,
I think it's been announced like on Discord.
Okay,
you can grab the public beta for test flight if you'd like to try out PyLeap and PyGlider, but that'll be the Bluetooth controller app for CircuitPython or for CircuitPython for the CircuitPlay Ground Bluefruit, and I think the LED glasses and feathers. So it's a nice way to like look through the directories. I like it as a project switcher.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
Nice little video. That's what will be coming out next week on how to use it, some of the features of it, and some of the future features that it'll be able to do.
Yeah.
So super cool. Super excited about this one because it's always really cool that you can get people excited.
Modify code on your phone.
Modify code on your phone and getting people to get comfortable with understanding how the code and what variables and values can be edited to like change colors or like sensitivity on the values.
Very cool.
Super cool.
All right, another topic on the Shop Talk. We got some 3D models of the KB2040 PCB. So if you need that for any type of CAD design, you can pick up the Eagle CAD PCB file, which you can import into KiCad or something else. And we have step files, STL files, and all of that of the 3D model itself. You can pull out the components if you need them, but they're there. You got a USB-C connector, stemma connector, little capacitors and everything, reset buttons. And, what else we have? SOD 123, some other components. But yeah, there you go. That is a 3D model, and it's up on the Learn guide for the KB2040. Shout out to Katney for getting that guide out. So you can check that out if you have a desire to model up some stuff for the KB2040.
Yeah, I believe those have the pretty pins. You can see what each one of the pins have in terms of the capabilities.
Yeah, where it's mapped to. A little bit of a different thing, but it's nice.
All right. Going into this week's community makes, we'll start off with the one from last week. Super cool. It was a request from Super Dune fan Philip.
Chris Knife. Is it Christ Knife?
I know I had spelt it wrong originally. He was like, that's the wrong thing. I thought it was a crystal knife. I guess it's a Christ knife.
This takes the full Z.
It was almost the full Z.
Oh,
so much that it kinked my Z probe, and I had to get a new Z probe.
He had to suffer, to sacrifice the Z probe to make this.
But check this thing out. It's nice, translucent. We're using just regular translucent PLA.
It came out phenomenal.
I think it's the Velamentum Galaxy Black with the Galaxy Gray. There's still a bunch of post-processing that you can do, like to fill in like all of the lettering right here and doing like some, the wash, print wash?
Yeah.
Paint wash?
Dry wash? Dry brush?
Dry brush.
No, I forget.
I'm sorry, you can tell that we're not...
Yeah.
In terms of props, we can design them, but we can't finish in terms of like the texturing and all that.
All right. I don't have links, for this one. So I don't know.
So this is a pay it's like $10 for this model, but it is absolutely worth it because of all the detail that it's on there,
Yeah,
the
for
way
sure.
that it prints out.
It saved us many hours and days of modeling because that's not really my skill set. Paige
Yeah.
could probably do it, but I don't have the
Mhm.
ZBrush chops or Maya chops to do something
so
like
you can
this.
see all the detail that's on there. And what's cool is last week Phil showed off the one that he had bought, like a replica one that's like made out of resin and like whatever else materials.
Yeah, I was comparing them last week on Ask Engineer. I was comparing them, but he likes both, and
yeah. This one's you can disassemble it. The blade comes off. These two parts just I just hot glued them together.
Right.
But,
so they're two separate parts. You glue them together. Well, it's really 3 parts, right?
Yeah, 3 parts. Well, 4 with the little pin.
Oh, okay. There's a little pin
that attaches that.
Yeah. Cool.
And yeah, it's so.
Put an LED next and light it up.
That's what I wanted to do.
This is really nice. So if you want to, I guess, get the LED from here, you can see that it shines nicely.
Yeah, it's a hollow. Nothing special that I did for the slicing on this. Yeah, this is just clear PLA.
Okay, cool.
It might be even clearer. 2 walls.
2 walls thick,
Yeah.
y'all. It's a little.
No, it's
okay.
pretty dang.
I'd be careful with it still, though. Don't be letting your kiddo play with it.
Oh, yeah, we already dropped it in the.
Yeah, I dropped it.
The little pointy part.
Sorry.
Which you should cut off
I
anyway.
swung
Smooth
it
out.
and it flew out of the tank. I was like, oh man. Sorry, Pedro. I know how long it took you to print this, but I broke the tip.
The STL for the camera rig, it is not done yet.
Yeah, I still have edits to do.
Prototyping.
It's just prototype, yeah.
It'll be
It
out.
looks like it's done, but it's not done yet.
Yeah,
It's still got
probably
a lot of code
January,
to do, and
yeah.
like I said, January, February.
Yeah, subscribe or hang out in the Discord.
Yeah, I can share the CAD if you want. I can send you the public
The link
share
for it,
link
yeah.
for Fusion. You can just download it if you'd like. Pick
Yeah,
up where I'm
super.
leaving off.
Yep, going back over
Very
the Dune
cool,
knife.
though.
Nice
Yeah,
to go
Dune knife.
along with your
Again,
Dune
if
cosplay.
you do want this, it costs a little bit of money. Go to our YouTube Timelapse. There's a link right there and credit to the artist who made it. I just didn't have it ready in time for the show. But the next one that was last week, this week we did. Let's do the video here. This is the Stargate. This was designed by Andrea Ferraro. So we put that one up. Oh.
Yeah, this one took quite a while. For whatever reason, the printer kept failing right at the top there. You can kind of see the little parts that weren't filled in. And we have I think it's the low density NeoPixel strip with a QT pie.
Yeah, it's a 60 mil, 60 per meter, and a cutie pie in the back. Yeah. So currently, I only have I turned off the animation because I needed to get a photo of it.
Yeah.
So that's why it's not animating. But it's running the LED animation library. It's just solid right now.
Yeah. So there is a cavity on the inside of this platform, so you could put your microcontroller in there. I could not fit it in there. I didn't have time to customize it, so I just have it on the back here.
Yeah,
Nice little cutie pie. Have the little right angle USB-C, so you can pop out the front there. But you do have like a cavity to add that in there, and I think this is where like the lid for that is supposed to slide in there. You can see like the grooves for it. Yeah,
very cool.
So you can definitely modify this. I just didn't have any time for that. And nice, super cool.
Yeah, I love the detail.
Yeah.
Love the little lettering in here and all the details.
Yeah, the
it's
fill.
Really cool.
Yeah, I had the fill gaps turned off, so that's why that's a little bit separated there. But you can. It takes quite a while to print, so
right.
I think I had like 4 different fails from this, just because of whatever happens right up here. Must have been my slice settings or something. It kept grinding the filament, so that's the only problem I had with that. It looks like it came out like the quality came out way better.
The tolerances were perfect for the your regular NeoPixel strip. I think it's 12 millimeters wide. So your regular, not mini, skinny, or ultra, or any of that. Just your regular NeoPixel strip. You can get the low density, high density, or in this case the middle density, which is the 60 per meter.
Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, very, very cool. And I have a link. This one I do have a link. It is a Thingiverse.
Andrea Faro.
Yeah.
Excellent job.
Pull it up real quick just to show it on Thingiverse. If it loads. Looks really cool in the photo. I think I picked this one, right? I was like, hey, Pedro, you should make this.
I think
saw
so.
it. I was like, dude, this is really dope.
I think I had it pinned for a while,
It looked really
too.
simple, and I was like, oh, man, you just print it in one piece. I was like,
It
happy
prints
about that the
upwards.
base and the ring
Yeah.
is all in one piece. So you don't have
Because
to
we
print
have-
two pieces.
We have seen those before,
Yeah.
but they're like all into individual little pieces.
Right, and that's cool too. But
For
when
time
it comes
lapse,
to like a time lapse, we want to show the ease of use. And
Well, we want to see like a good presentable model being printed on the bed. Otherwise, it's just like, you know, squares or circles.
yeah, that's true. It's got to look good on your time lapse on your bed. But yeah, very, very, very cool. Thanks to Andre for
Very
posting
cool.
those.
And I think they link there what microcontroller board that they intended to use, because it has like
You can use
these
whatever.
nice little snaps and things to attach it into.
I don't see anything about that. Sorry.
I think is it scroll down? No, they didn't have like how I made this section.
Nope.
Real quick, request to share the link for the camera rig.
Okay. Where, on Discord? All right.
Yes. No, on YouTube.
On YouTube? It's gonna take me a minute. I'll post the link in after the show, okay?
Yep.
And then you'll be able to grab it there. It'll be in the description. Cool.
Let's see. Question
Wow, I'm
on.
glad people like it. That's a
Yeah, that's super cool.
yeah.
So when the
I thought,
animation's
like,
going.
I thought it was like nobody
it's
wants to make camera sliders anymore. You can buy it for $60 or whatever from.
not a
'cause I s-
motorized pan and tip.
No,
pan
it's
and
$600,
slide.
$600 or $300. Some Tested did a really good. I was trying to show it to you. They did a really, really nice one. I forget the name of the company. It's like Edochrome, but not Edochrome. Anyway, folks, I'm gonna shut up now.
That's the inspiration for that.
Yeah, and I was like, man, I should do this. Or no, it was more of like a, like, oh, maybe you shouldn't do this because like, you could just buy a really good one now. But it's like $600. But anyway,
Another question from Badabi asking what customizations have we done through our printers, like updating the driver board, changing the hot end, stuff like that. I think the most valuable one is the print bed. We've got the
flexi plate.
flexi magnetic plate. It's the powder coated, double-sided, powder coated magnetic PEI bed. I think is the best thing. It's not really modification,
Right,
I
it's
mean,
just
well,
a
when you have to switch
accessory.
out your end switches and add like the BL touch so that it can go all the way down
Yeah.
to
So you
touch
got
to
your BL
level
touch.
it. Yeah. The other thing is probably the Nocta fans, so that all the
okay.
printers are nice and quiet.
Yeah.
For the CR10 Pro, I think it already comes standard with the CR10 Pro V2. The belts, so that both
oh, really? Okay.
threaded rods,
Yeah.
so that both of them are completely level.
Okay. I mean, Octoprint, webcam,
Octoprint,
a Pi, a Raspberry
yeah.
Pi, and a webcam is super vital for us because we just have multiple printers and we
Printers
need to
in
be
the
able
other
to,
room, so
yeah,
we can
we
quickly.
need to have them separate from our office. So those are the main upgrades, but nothing too crazy. We have some stock nozzles and stock extruder that came with the Creality CR2 and CR3. But we do like machines from Tiny Machines, I believe is tinymachines.com. Search for them. They make some good mods to their Creality printers, and they ship them and they QA them and they write custom firmware and they do milling and they mill their own parts that are not plastic. And so Tiny Machines, good place to get them.
Yeah, that's the main thing right there. That they receive the printers in from China. They
and they
verify
make them
that they mill
Make sure they
custom
don't burn
parts
down.
for it. They program custom firmware for it.
Make sure the wiring is good and don't burn down the house.
They'll swap out stuff, add in more higher quality, like you said, wires and parts, CNC'd parts, metal parts, not plastic printed parts.
This would make a good infinity mirror, y'all.
I did see
That'd
someone
be
who made
super
one.
dope,
Yeah.
Just put the thing here, acrylic. Oh, that'd be cool too. Edge lit acrylic, and then you etch something in the inside there. That'd be cool. Any hoodles.
Oh, it's a good idea. Tan Lee is saying that the Cutie Pie has the cap touch pads would be useful for the
YouTube.
Stargate. Maybe like changing animation or the speed of the how it goes around. And then another question from Tan Lee on the jumper pads on the back of the KB2040. Want to verify that they can gain the 5-volt logic on all the GPIO. I have heard Lamar say that.
Yeah, I saw the same thing. If you just look at the Learn Guide, it's got published yesterday, I believe. You can see it talks about like how you would power NeoPixels, for example, through there.
Yeah.
So check it out. I'll
The pads on the back.
real quick. This is how I get to it. The primary guide down here in the pinouts. I think
All the info right there. She has mentioned it, but definitely check this out to verify it. You can check out the data sheet for that too.
Yeah,
there it is.
Raw pin
raw
is
pins.
powering 5 volts, and that raw jumper is right down there.
There you go.
Right.
Check that out if you want to build like a full-size keyboard. Super useful for having all those lit up. All the LEDs are NeoPixels.
Yeah, it bypasses the 500 milliamp fuse for up to 2 amps from USB ports, as well as USB hosting. It's soldered closed. You can use raw pin for powering NeoPixel. So in order to use the raw pin, you must use the jumper. So there you go. Okay, hopefully that works out. Let us know how it goes. Cool.
Oh no, I haven't been posting links. There's the
Yeah,
one for the
toughies.
Stargate.
Sorry, folks. We got bounce out here soon too. So
Stargate, since people really like that one.
yeah, it's
Nice and free. It's a, I mean, with
and like not a lot of downloads. It's kind of. I really like the simplicity of it. It's, like, it's all together.
All together. All you got to do is slide in your NeoPixel strip.
Yeah. Cool. Real quick, check over here. No, we're all
That's
good.
why I've been looking at.
Yeah. Okay.
On Discord and on YouTube for that link for the camera. Definitely go to discord.gg/Adafruit. I will.
Yeah,
type
also
it
gonna
into.
throw it in the description of this YouTube video once it goes live, once it's archived. All right. Well, I think that's gonna do it for the show, folks. Any last comments and questions? Go ahead and drop them in. But I'm gonna start closing the show down. Don't forget tonight we are hosting Show and Tell. It's at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We hope to see you there. Just hang out in the Discord chat room at around 7:25-ish, and we'll send you a link so you can join us. And then tomorrow is Ask an Engineer, special edition, Thursday edition. That will be the same time slot at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We also have John Park doing Thursdays, 4 p.m. Eastern Time. And then Scott's doing, I believe, a Friday live stream, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern. And it wraps around back over to Sundays with Lamar and Phil from the Desk of Lady Ada. Sometimes it's Saturday, sometimes it's Sunday.
I was about to say weekend edition. Super cool. Check out all of the segments like
Great search with
Yes.
DigiKey.
Yes.
I'm off key. And then JP's doing up the Tuesdays, but not before Mondays, because Circuit Pilot meeting's on Mondays. Sorry. It just turned Southern Twang all of a sudden. And then JP's on Tuesdays at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. We do the show every Wednesday at 11 a.m. We're glad to see you there, to be here. I'm out of it, man.
And I think it's
Thank
gonna
you so
do
much
it.
for this, for hanging in there with us. We hope you inspired you, and we hope you're doing all right and staying safe out there.
But until then, make
Until
sure to
then.
make a great day.
Have a great day. Bye, folks.
See you next week or tonight.
We'll see you tonight. Oh, the dog. All right, bye, folks. Gotta walk the dog.